Our discussion on joy. And since this is the new year, you know, for the past several years, I've chosen an intention for the year rather than a typical New Year's resolution. Um, and been thinking of what might be most beneficial for me in the coming year with the state of my world and my environment. And I set on the intention of cultivating gratitude and compassion. So today, what I'd like to share are some thoughts about, for me, what the connection seems to be between gratitude, joy, and compassion. In the Book of Joy, based on interviews with the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, the author quotes David Steindl Rast, a Benedictine monk, who is also known as the grandfather of compassion. Imagine that. The grandfather of gratitude. Let me just get my clicky here so I can, there we go. The grandfather of gratitude. And he's quoted as saying, "It is not joy that makes us grateful. It's gratitude that makes us joyful." And that really resonated with me because for me, gratitude has always been a more accessible entrance into the experience of joy. For some reason, I can understand and feel my way into gratitude as a door opener to the experience of joy. Just easier to wrap my head around and to get into the embodied experience of gratitude in ordinary and everyday events, and then see how joy bubbles up in response to that gratitude. And Bill and Susan have pointed this out to us, even with their example of starting out each day with a high five and gratitude for waking up. Yahoo, we're here, we're breathing, and the joy in that. And this is a practice that the Dalai Lama recommends as well, saying every day as you wake up, think, I'm fortunate to be alive. I have this precious human life, and I'm not going to waste it. Now, let me just take a pause here. I don't know about for any of you, but my mind immediately went to the term waste it. And I could let my negativity biased brain just go off and running with that and get all entangled in how I might be wasting my time, getting a bit judgmental in my head, how I'm wasting my life, what I should be doing. And right here, I encounter an opportunity to make a choice. I can really berate myself for being less joyful and happy or less grateful than I should be, and focus on that in my brain, in little Lori's brain, or I can practice the fact that I'm noticing my negativity bias as an opportunity for gratitude. I can notice my proclivity to latch onto the negative, to criticize how little Lori can criticize the Dalai Lama for saying something in a way that got my judgmental mind going. Why did he have to use that word waste? What was he thinking? And rather than going down that rabbit hole, I can be aware and grateful for the noticing, as Susan recommends, giving myself that gold star. Be grateful for catching my conditioned negativity in action and feel the joy of that noticing, the joy of awareness bubbling up so I can smile and have that little inner laugh at my own foolishness. Such moments help me realize over and over again, a bit more deeply, it really is my choice. Again, from the Book of Joy, the Dalai Lama is quoted saying, "We create most of our suffering, so it should be logical that we also have the ability to create more joy." It simply depends on the attitudes, the perspectives, and the reactions we bring to situations and to our relationships with other people. As I thought about this, I realized just how many times a day I can choose to either be annoyed, frustrated, critical, judgmental, etc., or I can choose to be grateful and joyful. When I wake up, I can choose to be annoyed that it's morning already. Oh my goodness, I don't feel quite rested. Wish I could have another hour of sleep. Or I can choose to be grateful, as Susan and Bill do, that I'm awake and breathing. And it's that quiet moment before the sun comes up and that I have a warm bed. And when I get up and I'm brushing my teeth, I can choose to be annoyed that the cat is jumping on my shoulders as I'm bending over to spit out the toothpaste and jumping in the sink and getting toothpaste on its paws and on its head. Or I can be grateful and laugh at the amazing silliness and dearness of kittens in my life and bring a smile to my face and my heart. And there are so many times a day I'm given that choice, that opportunity to choose between gratitude and joy or annoyance, frustration, and anger. When I'm driving, I can choose to be annoyed at all the other drivers. The other day, I was driving down one of my neighborhood streets, and I was going to be a bit early for an appointment. So I was driving relatively slowly, which, by the way, was the speed limit. And I must have been annoying these poor holiday drivers behind me trying to get someplace more quickly. And we were on a 2-lane street, and one of them just zipped around me, and then the other one zipped around me. And there was a moment of annoyance. How dare they? How dare they be so impatient? What's wrong with them? I said to myself judgmentally. And then I was grateful that I didn't have to be in such a rush, that I could be safe while driving my car, and wish them well, wish them safety and peace on their journey, and feel compassion for the stress of their rush. I could feel my heart soften and open, and the joy of this arise. So this gratitude and joy goes beyond me. It becomes a gratitude that expands into the joy of compassion. And the Dalai Lama also makes this connection between gratitude, compassion, and joy, stating that there are 3 factors that seem to have the greatest influence on increasing our happiness. 1, our ability to reframe our situations more positively. 2, our ability to experience gratitude. And 3, our choice to be compassionate or kind and generous. Modern day research also, gratefully I must say, affirms that people who have a strong disposition to gratitude have the capacity for greater empathy, for greater capacity to taking on the perspective of others, a more mindful perspective, and they're rated as more generous and helpful by the people in their social networks. It is not that gratitude and joy are about denying our difficulties and our problems. Rather, as these researchers state, when we realize all that we have been given in this moment, it is our natural response to care for and give to others. And to paraphrase an excerpt from Shantideva's Way of the Bodhisattva, may I use all that I have to be grateful for and all the joy I experience, so that all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy, so that those weak with sorrow find joy, those who are forlorn find hope, so that those who are frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed, so that the powerless find power, and so people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now, contemplating dispelling the miseries of the world may be a bit daunting for a starting point, but we can practice dispelling our own miseries. As Bill said this past week, dispelling our miseries and cultivating joy, this is essential to our practice. It's not a secondary aspect or a byproduct, but a key component. We can notice and cultivate gratitude in this moment and all the ordinary moments of our lives, and cultivate joy to dispel our miseries and the miseries of the world. Thank you so very much for your kind attention. So let's practice with joy and gratitude for all that we have in this moment and all that our bodies provide for us in this moment. Not being annoyed at what our bodies can't do or their aches and pains, but grateful that our bodies are here with us and can move in ways that can loosen and soften, release, shake out, and just take whatever time you need as the beginning of your practice to allow the body, whatever movements it wants to make, to bring a bit more ease, a bit more joy into being in this moment, to settling, stabilizing, releasing what can be released. And appreciating the breath that's already flowing. Space that can be created by breathing in and settling down and releasing that can be provided by breathing out. And perhaps already feeling a few bubbles of joy at just noticing that breathing is here and now in this moment. What a miracle. Grateful for breathing in and breathing out. And welcoming mind to this moment, to this breath. Grateful that our attention and awareness can be here for this moment, as if welcoming a dear friend and feeling the open-hearted, smiling joy of welcoming our dear mind that works so hard for us to come in for a rest. And when the mind gets distracted or entangled in thinking, choose perhaps some gratitude for the noticing of that and the joy of welcoming mind back to just this moment. playing with just what would it be like to add in a few more sprinkles of gratitude and joy in this moment. And in the remaining few minutes of this practice, expanding awareness to include all of us sitting here together and extending gratitude for joining together and supporting each other and ourselves in this moment. And as we move into the days and weeks and years ahead, thank you for your practice. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for joining this Sangha.